I still have the GDP data from the old 1.6 timelapse, and the army sizes are way smaller than in 1.6. A level 1781 financial district. Hello fellow data friends, Sphere of Influence finally arrived, so it's time for another GDP timelapse. Good news, there have been some performance upgrades. The 1.7 timelapse reached 1936 after about 5 hours and 20 minutes, while it took 6 hours in 1.6, so the game was about 10% faster for me. And now enjoy the timelapse, and I see you to discuss the results afterwards. Firstly, let's compare my values with the in-game numbers. My values can lag behind by up to 1 month, so we are reasonably close. But more importantly, let's compare results with 1.6. This is a screenshot from another time-lapse of mine done in 1.6.2, also from the year 1960. While 1.6 had one country with a higher GDP peak, the overall GDP is higher in 1.7, which sounds promising so far. I still have the GDP data from the old 1.6 time-lapse, so I plotted the global GDP timelines for both time-lapses. Teal is a global GDP from 1.7. Interestingly, the global GDP at game start is lower on 1.7 by about 60 million or 12%. Still, 1.7 managed to overtake the 1.6 GDP around the turn of the century. I prepared a second graph to get a better understanding of the differences. This is a ratio of 1.7 GDP and 1.6 GDP. Ignore these peaks, these are revolts that my code didn't manage properly. But we can see that 1.7 II is growing faster than 1.6. So the economic AI growth improved, but you might be fooled by the lower starting values. This is just a sample size of one time-lapse each, but it looks promising. Let's have a look around. Prussia conquered Bohemia, but not much has changed in northern Germany. What about power blocks? Okay, seems like neither Prussia nor Austria managed to pull many German miners into their league. Wait, there's a different shade of blue. The Self-Rule League from Bengal. And the United States have a military power block. But several power blocks only have one principle. And the army sizes are way smaller than in 1.6. The great powers mostly have about 200 to 300, and the United States have 42 units in total. Mexico has 15. That seems off. What about ownership? Oh, the British have infrastructure problems and a lot of turmoil. Financial districts and manor houses uses a lot of infrastructure, but there would still be problems without them. A level 1781 financial district. Look at that, they own stuff all around the world. 450,000 people work there. A lot of shopkeepers and clerks. Manor houses look pretty similar. We are in the year 1960, so past the end date. This might be why the AI broke down with infrastructure, but probably not. Well, the French are fine in terms of infrastructure. Okay, there are a lot of empty buildings in home counties. And private owners want to downsize the building, which is good, but it seems like the downsizing cannot keep up with the amount of empty buildings. Austria is also fine. Oh, giant Bohemia. Look at the pollution. Silesia is even worse. But they manage with 2000 infrastructure. So it seems like only Britain has this problem. There is a Reddit post from a Victoria 3 developer saying that there will be a balance patch next week and manor houses will not use infrastructure anymore. Let's look around some more. Africa is a usual mess. There are still many nations not colonized. India mostly broke free and formed Bengal. Persia is a British puppet, and China exploded. The USA has very clean borders, apart from Alaska. And South America is at war. Oh, we can look at their new religion map mode. Wales is mostly Sunni, and Hindu took over northern Scotland. The rest looks mostly about what you would expect, I guess. If you want to compare this to the 1.6 GDP time-lapse, click on the top video. Thanks a lot for watching, please consider liking and subscribing.